and this goes to Alicia and Tigger. So Alicia, I want you to know I know who's involved now. And Tigger, I want you to get out in front of this because you're looking complicit in this. So if you don't want to be complicit, I urge you to tell the truth about this girl's whereabouts because I know who's involved now.
Unfiltered.
Gather, my people. Put your ear. We have a meeting. Today, guys, Big Tigger, his wife, possible abuse, and a hell of a plot twist landed on our docket. We need to discuss. We need to dissect. We need to analyze. We need to document. You already know how we do it over here, guys. You already know how we do it over here. So I was scrolling, out of my business, just seeing, what the people have going on. You know how I do. I stumbled across a very disturbing piece of footage. When I saw this, only the picture alone, I was like, I need to click on this. Not only did this clip scramble my entire brain, the caption confused me even more. Because that caption said, ask my husband why my face happened. I was like, why my face happened? What is she saying? Now, I think she meant, ask my husband what happened to my face. But that's neither here nor there, child. But people can easily discombobulate your girl. You know how I am. You have to talk good. So when I read that, I was like, what's going on? Husband? Because the husband already got me. I was like, Big Tigger married? I couldn't believe it.
Wait a minute, are you single?
As a dollar bill in a parking lot at midnight.
Okay.
Even time I don't want to be outside, people put me outside.
Now, I don't pay Big Tigger no mind. I don't know nothing about his life. I knew right then and there that we needed to talk. I needed to call y'all. We were about to jump yet another rabbit hole. So as far as I'm concerned, guys, let's not make this a long-ass intro. I have nothing more to say. You already know what to do. Get comfortable. Grab a blanket. Grab a drink. A snack. Put your earphones in, depending on where you're at, of course, because if you're at the job, don't embarrass me by putting me there on speaker. Put your earphones in, and let's see what kind of big mess Big Tigger got himself into. Y'all ready? Let's get into it.
Hello, stranger. It's been a minute since we last kicked it. And by the way, just got in town, and I won't let cumulus clouds all in the sky ruin my vibe. And usually I don't do this.
Okay, guys, now you already know how we do over here. Before we start collecting evidence, we have to rewind. We have to introduce. We have to take it back just a little bit. So let's look at Big Tigger, because there are always people that do not know who the people are that I am talking about. Always. So, since we're family, we have to bring each other up to speed. So Big Tigger, his mama called him Darian Morgan.
Because all the years I have seen you, known you, heard you, no one has ever explained to me how you got the name Tigger.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So we're going back to University of Maryland, College Park. I was a freshman, and we had a young lady we affectionately called Grandma. She was an upperclassman. So Grandma one day in lunch, we were in the lunchroom, looks around and says, "You look just like Tigger when you smile."
Oh, wow.
Everyone in the lunchroom stops and goes, yeah.
Now, he was born on December the 22nd, 1972, which makes him now around, 53, 52. You put it in the comments. His mother is Jamaican and his father is African American. And he grew up in New York before going to the university in Maryland, because it was at that university where it kind of all started, because he interned for the WPGC radio station at that time. And that is exactly where he accidentally stumbled upon his career that eventually made him very famous. And he even got recognized for it.
Next year's 30 years in radio. No, wait a minute. Yeah, 30 years in radio, next year 27 in television. When you start doing stuff, you do it because you love it, and then there comes a check, and now you love it, and you get paid for it, and then you become, the integrity, hopefully, and the pride in your work comes about. And never, ever, 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 ever did I think I'd be standing here 30 years later talking about I'm a Black Radio Hall of Famer. But it is an honor and a privilege to be recognized by the National Black Radio Hall of Fame.
Now, Big Tigger wasn't one of those overnight success stories, one of those overnight success celebrities. He worked hard for it. Now, let me tell you, if you are under 35, now you might know Big Tigger because of his smooth voice. Now, if you are over 35, like me, a little over 35, you probably know Big Tigger as the hip-hop royalty's favorite interviewer.
So let's talk about your first single that been out ever.
Man.
Forever.
Yeah.
Through the Wire. Who came up with the concept for the video?
I came up with the concept for the video.
Right.
You're
very proud of that video.
Yeah. Man.
So while everybody at that time wanted to rap, Tigger actually mastered the microphone in a whole nother way. Now, by the late 90s, he landed himself a job at BET and eventually became the face of Rap City.
Yeah. What up, Rap City? All right, you are in the house with your man Big Tigger for the premiere edition of WRAP Rap Radio.
This is actually what many hip-hop fans call the golden era.
I love it when you woman them surround me, and I know about I can't feel me. Sha-la-la, sha-la-la, sha-la-la. Yes, man.
Now, I know I got a lot of church people watching me as well, and whatever, but guys, you watch Rap City. This was the legendary basement era where everybody that was well known, everybody that mattered, stepped into that booth. And unlike many television hosts, the hip-hop artists actually really respected Big Tigger. And the reason for that is not only was, he was a likable guy, but he could also rap.
We keep it crack-a-lackin'. Now how y'all acting? You talk smacking, you get smacked in the corner. I'm on one, better yet two. Big Tigger's on you, so do what you want to do.
Slide back in DC, I'm found live in the den. BET, we call this the basement. Underneath my mama's house. Big shout out to Dog's house.
So him being able to rap actually earned him a lot of credibility next to him having that radio dominance, that TV host dominance. Washington, D.C., Atlanta, New York. Eventually, he became one of the biggest radio personalities, and he actually started at V103 in Atlanta, while also serving as the public address announcer for the Atlanta Hawks and as a DJ for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, guys, when it comes to Big Tigger's love life, this is where it becomes a little bit interesting, a little bit. Because despite of being one of the most recognizable faces, in that whole BET era, Big Tigger rarely spoke about his personal life, his love life. And you already know, guys, once you don't talk about your personal life and who you're dating and people don't see these things, people get to talking. Now, I'm going to let you decide what I mean, but you already know how this goes. Now, there have been some dating things and some relationships that, weren't really a rumor. One of them was actually Keisha Knight Pullingham. He was fairly public with her. Now, they dated for quite a few years during the 2000s and were frequently seen at, different events. But then eventually, guys, they split. Now, let them tell it. Let Keisha tell it too. They split amicably, so there was no drama, no infidelity, no rumors, no things. And meanwhile, while this all happened, Tigger kept working. Successful, respected, booked, and busy. However, that whole story takes a little bit of a left turn. Because years later, Keisha, who had been married to former NFL player Ed Hardwell, I believe, where she even welcomed a daughter with, that daughter, her name is Ella Grace, if I'm correct. Now, he came forth and he said, listen, I don't think this baby is mine. I really don't think so. Now, guys, this was all during the divorce proceedings. Now, whether that was because he didn't want to pay no child support or whatever, he was very serious about that. He demanded a paternity test. He said, listen, I have real reason to believe that this child is not mine.
Why do you want her to take a paternity test? And, is that because she was unfaithful? Do you feel like she was unfaithful?
Well, that's because during that time period, she was asking, well, if you don't want a baby, can I adopt? If you don't want a baby, can I do in vitro? If you don't want a baby, can I freeze my eggs? Can you freeze your sperm so I can make sure she was adamant about no matter what she wanted. And that's one of the reasons why we stopped having sex. She wants what she wants. I want what I want. She want a baby. I want to find love and happiness. But at the end of the day, I think it's fair for me if things don't add up. I do want a test.
Now, when that came out, guys, you already know the rumor mill. Oh, it worked overtime. What? It is not his, this child. Hey, in no time, the people said, you know whose child this is? This might be Big Tigger's child. Because, you know, they split up amicably, and even though it's years later, I think they made a thing or two once or twice. Or the people started gossiping. This is how it goes. Blogs be blogging, internet be interneting. Guys, I don't have to tell you this. And you already know how these internet streets work. Once someone starts whispering, somebody else repeats it. And before you know it, guys, people start treating gossip like it's evidence.
Conversation and innuendo suggesting that I might be the father of someone's child. There is 0% chance that the child that is being alleged might be mine. It's mine. Could not have impregnated a female I've not spoken to, nor seen, nor been in the physical presence of. I haven't seen Shorty since our breakup. Any insinuation, speculation, intimation, or rumor of me being the father, just not true.
Now, long story short, guys, the test was completed and the results said that Ed Hartwell indeed was the father of Ella Grace. It was confirmed. Big Tigger had nothing to do with this. Case closed. At least case closed for everybody beside the internet. Because you already know, guys, they always give their good eye. Now, even though, you know, results came forth and, you know, he's not dead. You know, once a story, you know, starts living its own life, hey, you cannot really take it back. So the people were just still looking at Big Tigger like, And then 2025 came along. And child, let me tell you, the plot twisted even more. Tigger sat there on his Feed 103 radio show. And he told us, listen, I'm going on paternity leave.
All right, family, I'm about to be out on paternity leave, waiting on little Tigger to pull up and pop out.
Now, in my mind, this is in my mind, guys, so calm down. In my mind, the whole internet, that's what I thought, collectively said, paternity, what? Hold on now. You got a baby on the way? Up to that point, we saw Big Tigger dating or whatever, but we didn't even know he had a wife. I'm saying we, you know, the people that were as oblivious as me. Now, the public quickly found out that he did not only have a baby on the way and a relationship. No, this relationship was well seasoned, fully baked, plated, and served. So by the time that people actually knew that Alicia existed, now, I don't know if you say Alicia, because that's how you write it, Alicia or Alicia. But listen, I'm just calling you Alicia because this tongue twisting, you know, I have problems with my accent, keeping it nice and proper English as we go already. So, Alicia it is. So anyway, by the time people knew that Alicia Brown existed, she wasn't even a girlfriend anymore. She was a full-on wife. And apparently, the mother of baby Tigger that was on its way. Now, I'm not even gonna lie, because when I heard this, I was like, Now, it doesn't mean anything, but it had some people shocked because over the years, there were some rumors. And I've seen some online folks, you know, calling Big Tigger Sesty, calling him a little, basically questioning his sexuality, throwing all kinds of rumors around. Now, if you ask me, I do not care, but you know how this goes. We always need the full picture on everybody. But me personally, Debs, I didn't really get that vibe from him. Ever. Not really. And y'all know, guys, that I consider myself having a pretty reliable gaydar installed in this body. And you know, I accused a pastor or two in my days. But he didn't give me that vibe. But then again, guys, out here in these Diddy streets, you never know.
You ever party with Diddy? Not on the West Coast. I have been to 2 or 3 New Year's Eve functions at his house. Probably 2 or 3 of the best New Year's Eves I ever had. What was it, though? It's in his backyard at the crib in Miami. It's people It's music, good energy, drinks, food. It's everything that you heard a Diddy party was. Let me back that up.
Say less. Hold on. Pause.
It's everything you used to hear what a Diddy party was. Good music, good energy, fun, carefree. I can't say that I've ever stayed past my bedtime.
You know, guys, a lot of men have been questioned about, attending these Diddy parties. From Usher to Bieber, from Jamie Foxx to Pastor T.D. Jakes. Y'all heard the conversations. But Cam Newton asking Big Tigger about these allegations didn't just come out of left field, if you ask me. Because you see, some of these allegations can be tracked all the way back to comments that were made years ago by Kareen Steffens, better known as Superhead. Guys, you remember her. Now, I remember that she publicly claimed on a radio show, I don't know if it was Jamie Foxx radio show or whatever, but I'm going to find it, that she had been involved with Big Tigger. But not only Big Tigger, that Big Tigger was also involved with Tyson Beckford.
Go ahead, Tigger.
There is never a time in your life where you can say the things that allegedly you saying happened.
That's not true. Memorial Day, Miami weekend, I walked into your hotel room and smelled like straight asshole. Wow. And then after 2 hours of sucking your dick, you let me get to the bedroom. I pulled the sheet back so there was blood all over the sheets. Wow. And then I seen your asshole and it was cut to the white meat. Let's be honest, Tigger. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
That didn't happen. That did not happen.
Let's talk about it, Tigger.
Listen, I want you to remember who sent you money to feed your son.
You did.
When you said there wasn't no food in the refrigerator.
Absolutely.
I want you to remember all of this. Because you know what? I can guarantee ain't no man, there ain't a man alive on the planet. I tell you what, I'd give you $1 million. You find a nigga say he fucked me in my ass.
Let's call Tyson Beckford right now. Let's call Tyson Beckford right now.
She's
calling out more people.
You said Tyson Beckford?
Let's call Tyson Beckford right now.
I believe Tigger. Wait a minute. I believe Tigger.
Wait a minute. Let me say this. I love women. I love women that love women.
He does.
I've never in my life had a man get behind me. I've never gotten behind a man. That's not how I do.
Because you take it on your back, baby.
Excuse me?
What?
She said, I hate to say it, but I feel like this is the first time I watched Mike Tyson fight Evander Holyfield. I couldn't believe it.
Okay, at the end of the day, Tigger was my best boyfriend. He took care of me and my son. He was there for me and my son. And that's real shit.
Him out.
We haven't.
That's Henry Hill.
It's a foxhole. It's a foxhole, and I got in his hole, and that's all that matters.
I don't know if you remember, but Superhead, Kareem, she came out with that book in 2007 called A Diary of a Video Vixen. Is that the title? I think it was Confessions of a Video Vixen. Something like that. But she came out with that book and she exposed several celebrities. She exposed relationships. She exposed sexuality of certain celebrities. She said it all in that book. It became a bestseller. And because this book became a bestseller, a lot of people viewed her as the one that knows all the industry secrets. Because how else can she be so boldly coming out and saying all these things? So when she spoke, the blogs listened, thinking that, if she put it out there like that, she must have the receipts. Now, when I was researching all of this, and I heard this again on that radio show, I was like, I wonder, what did Tyson Beckford say about all of this? Because I have to be honest, guys. My gaydar picked up a signal about Tyson Beckford once or twice, I think. But I must say, and I have to be honest, the signal was very weak, staticky. The antenna was struggling, clearly. So the verdict is still out there. I don't think, because Tyson, to me, is a very stand-up guy. So I left it alone. Yes, you can look at me all you want, guys, but I really left it alone because, believe it or not, I don't investigate every little blip that I see on the internet. Not everything. Nevertheless, with this, I was intrigued. And I wanted to know exactly what Tyson said about these allegations. You already know your girl. Dig. And then, boom.
You remember the rumors Superhead used to say about you? Or the stuff she
Yeah,
wrote about in her
that's
first book.
another one. Like, come on, girl. You can't. I never hung out with Tigger. I'm like, I don't even know that ninja like that. You know what I mean? I met him a couple times at a hip-hop event, and that's it. But, again,
I brought it up, but I thought she said that was a Diddy part.
Where is she? You know what I mean? Who is she?
Yeah.
It's nobody just out here trying to tell stories on. She done named how many of us. So let me tell you how that rumor started. She called me one time talking about, I need some money. I need a place to stay. So evidently, we lived in Jersey together. I guess Tigger lived in Jersey too somewhere, and he lived. I lived in Fort Lee at the time, so he lived around somewhere in that area, and they got into some fight. So I don't know how she remembered my phone number and called me, and I was like, "Who this?" Mm-hmm. I was like, "Nah, I ain't getting involved because I like to mind my business." Mm-hmm. So I denied her, and then the next thing you know, that came about, and I was like, "You petty."
Now I guess that case is closed too. They said what they said, and they are definitely not going to change it. But let me tell you, I digress, because back to 2025, back to the plot twist, where Big Tigger was telling us that he was going on a paternity leave. So suddenly everybody became an investigator, and they were like, so he's married. Who is she again? That's when people start realizing that Tigger had been moving silently for years, while we were just thinking that he was on his radio show minding everybody's business but his own. All the while, he was in a full-blown marriage, guys. A full-blown relationship with a baby. Now, guys, here is where we move deeper into the mess. Here is where the mess gets a little bit thicker, because the people hadn't even had a good hot second to digest the fact that Big Tigger was married. They didn't even have a hot second to digest this all. Married with a baby. All right. Now, this Alicia, there's hardly anything you can find about her, but we'll talk about that in a second. But what I do know, because I did the math, she is probably born in 1989. So that makes her in her late mid-30s, 36 or whatever. You do the math, guys. Now, she came forth, guys, howling into the camera, not saying a word. Just put this disturbing piece of footage out here on the internet, Instagram, I think it was Instagram or X, telling us to ask her husband what happened to her. Now, first, when I saw this, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was AI. Then, because I went to different emotions, then I was like, this might be one of those Snapchat filters. But I was like, is she that dumb? It's really Oscar worthy. She might be in the wrong profession. Now, not only me, but me and the rest of these internet streets, we started to ask Tigger, like, Tigger, what happened? Now, when you ask me, he didn't really respond as quick as I would have liked him to. But there was no need, because then this Alicia woman came forth again, telling us that, listen, guys, my husband is basically humping his co-host, and I'm going to divorce his ass. Now, I'm paraphrasing, guys, but look at the message. It's kind of what it says. Now, the people were like, what? Infidelity and abuse. Hey, guys. The people were like, Tigger, what's going on? Tigger. Hey, if you saw the people, Tigger, come to the front. He wasn't saying anything. What's going on here? Co-host. Who's this co-host? Hey, the people started digging. Boom. Francesca Amiker, or Amaker. Hey, guys. Francesca Amaker. Now, this Francesca Amaker was replaced for Jessie McBee in April 2026 when she stepped on the scene as the replacement radio host. The new radio host, the new thing.
This week, the Big Tigger Morning Show introduced a new host.
You know what time it is. You see your screen. It is time for Thursday's edition of The A Scene. And guess what? We have an update.
Former 11 Alive entertainment reporter and Atlanta native Francesca Amaker.
Atlanta helped grow me. It built me. You know, it made me the woman I am today.
Amaker says her new gig is a full circle moment.
And we had our big programming meeting. And guess who was in the building? Who? Frank Ski.
And you can imagine, she only been there since April. And now, we're in what? June. Huh? The people came for her neck instantly. Because you already know. The people were like, listen, you put your crusty toe inside a marriage. Inside a marriage. And not only a marriage. This is a woman that just had a baby as well. The audacity of you, Francesca, if you saw the people. Oh, God. They were in the comments. Evil, let her tell it. Now, Francesca tried to keep it cute. So first she put out like 2 messages. Now, the first one said, when you hear a rumor about you that is so untrue, you genuinely don't even know how to defend yourself. Now, that was the first one that she put out. She was like, what is going on? This totally, let her tell it. Let her tell it, because you never know, but I believe. So she said, I don't even know what to do with this. I just stepped on the scene. April 2026. Then she put out another message. And that message said, the allegations circulating about me are completely false and do not reflect who I am or how I conduct myself. I have never had an affair or cheated with a married man. I stand by my character, my integrity, and my truth. You talk your ish, Francesca. She said, I have nothing to do with this. But the people, you know how the people are. The people were already livid. The people were already angry. They saw that face of that Alicia. They saw, that message. This, I'm going to divorce him. He's humping. So you already know. People that are trauma bonding, people that are, been through similar situations or have people around them, they were like, listen, this one. They needed more. They needed the full explanation. So Francesca had to come forth in another way.
This week has been the most challenging moment of my personal and my professional life. Throughout my 16-year career, I've worked tirelessly to build a reputation that is rooted in professionalism, integrity, and respect. And, despite these last few days, those values remain unchanged for me. I would like to reiterate that I have never, nor will I ever, have an affair with anyone in a relationship or marriage. My mother and father, who are listening right now in Ellenwood, have been married for 42 years, and I will always value such a bond. Mom and Dad, thank you for showing me that. As difficult as this experience has been on myself and my reputation, this week has been the most challenging moment of my personal and my professional life. I am so grateful for the incredible support of my family. Shout out to the Emmekers. Thank you for standing by me. My friends, my colleagues at V103, and everyone who stood by me and reached out online, on my phone, via text. I saw everything, and I do mean everything. This moment does not define me. I'm moving forward with faith, grace, gratitude even, and you know what? Even excitement for what lies ahead for me.
Now, when people saw this, it almost immediately flipped the script because the people were like, she seemed genuine. But it didn't exactly die down, though. So people were asking Tigger to come to the front. They were like, listen, she talked now. Where are you, sir? Now, before he got a chance to come to the front, Alicia herself came forth again, showing us a piece of footage with a completely unscathed face, completely smooth, nothing going on.
Somebody asked me, do I have freckles? I do. They just be randomly popping up, but yes, I do.
It was on the 7th of June. That piece of footage was posted. And the people were like, how is this spot? Where's that gash on your eyebrow that you had? Where are those stitches? Where are the things? Now, allegedly, guys, that piece of footage that we saw with that gash, now that footage was actually shot in May. So that is about a month ago. Now, even though it's a month ago, with that thing that I saw, that where is it? It could have been a month, but that's what I heard. But still, the people were like, so you have the audacity to come to the front. Now, even if this footage was shot, before that, you have the audacity to pull us, to drag us in your rubbish, in your foolishness about your whole relationship, cheating scandal, gash on your eyebrow. And you come to the front now unscathed, telling us where the children are playing or doing in the house. Are you okay? Dragging us in a whole Lifetime horror scene. And now you want to act all nice and all dandy and flowers and with us and telling us. The people were like, she crazy. So now the internet streets were really fed up. And they were like, hello, Big Tigger, come to the front now. We had enough. You need to talk. This is a red flag zone, sir. At this point, you need to come forth.
Good morning, Atlanta. I'm extremely privileged to be here this morning, back at work. Over the past several days, there's been significant public discussion and speculation regarding my personal life. I understand this can happen being a public person. I've been doing radio now 32 years and television for 29. I appreciate, first and foremost, the support and concern that so many people have shown. I want to say categorically, categorically these allegations and accusations that have been circulating about me are false, untrue, not happening, didn't happen. Additionally, it's important to clarify that Francesca and I have never been anything more than friends and respected colleagues. I'd like to apologize to you, Francesca, for the impact of these last few days or this last week. I hope you accept my apology. Out of respect for everyone involved, I ask for grace, privacy, and restraint as my family navigates this difficult moment.
So he said what he said, guys. Now shout out to Laura LaRosa, because after Tigger came with that whole confession, basically telling us, like, listen, this is completely false. And I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Now, he said also something to Francesca. He said, I don't know how I can ever repay you for this hitting you on your career, this accusation that is completely false. He put it out there. Now, Lauren LaRosa stepped to the front, and she was like, listen, I spoke to Alicia. Now listen to this statement, guys. So she started real mouthy, real talkative. Listen, I want to be clear. I have never called my husband an abuser. You are telling us you never called him an abuser. Yes, you come here with a scrunched up face in this camera, howling like a damn wolf. And then you are telling us now that you didn't say that your husband was an abuser. Then what were you alluding to when you told us to ask your husband what happened to your face? Now you're sitting here. What are you going to tell us now? That you fell off the stairs or whatever. Why couldn't you tell us then what happened to your face if it had nothing to do with your husband? Social media has drawn its own conclusions. You hear this. From information that was shared. But those conclusions are not statements I have made. Don't you just want to give her a 1-2? No, I shouldn't say that. No, wait. I respect the legal process and believe law enforcement should be allowed to do its job without interference from anyone, including me. In recent days, many claims, opinions, and narratives have circulated publicly. While I understand that people will form their own views, I remain confident that the facts will speak for themselves in due time. Until then, my focus remains on my family, my peace, and protecting those I love, which you are doing a great job at. Because even though someone else did this to your face, you telling us, asking us to ask your husband what happened to your face, you already know what that kind of alluded to. Now, if you don't know this, you big cyber chick, you cyber tech girl, we're going to talk about your career in a minute. You're very intelligent. Now, you putting this out, you didn't think this would damage Big Tigger, his whole career and whatever. Now, we don't know if this will affect his career. Probably not, but you didn't think by putting this out, this statement, now it's us. You see, and that's what I don't like. This is what I do not like when people do this. They put things out. Now, once you react, it's the same with Cheyenne. You come forth saying all this discombobulation. Now the people are, where are your things? Where is the evidence? Now you don't have the evidence. And now you're blaming us. You guys are making a story out of it. Oh, girl, hush. You aggravate me, girl. You. Alicia Brown. Hey, guys. But let me continue. I remain confident that the facts will speak for themselves in due time. Until then, my focus remains on my family, my peace, and protecting those I love. I love my family, and I will not engage in public debates, speculations, or personal attacks and bitterness. Now, this is exactly what you could have had prevented. If you told us what happened to your damn face in one sentence, you put a discombobulated sentence there. Why didn't you finish the sentence? To stop all this. I'm not hiding, and I stand firmly by my character and integrity. I respectfully ask for patience as I follow the guidance of my legal counsel and allow the process to unfold. Now, you have a lot of experience with legal counsel. You, Alicia. Hey! Thank you to those who have extended prayers, support, and understanding during this time. So that, guys, was Alicia's statement. Now, Alicia, I am going to look you straight into the eye, girl. Into the eyes. Now, I don't know what this case brings. Now, if I am wrong and something very damaging about Big Tigger or whatever, I don't know. comes out, I will retract. But right now, you're going to get what you get from Debs. Now, am I speaking too prematurely? Now, I've seen some things. I don't think. I think you deserve a lash or two. Anyway. And the anyway we'll see that soon. You are this big tech mogul. You, big tech girl. Cyber babe. That's what your name is. Cyber babe. You didn't figure out, girl, that you coming forth with a disturbing piece of footage like that the internet FBI wasn't going to turn every leaf on your ass. You didn't figure that out. And now that Big Tigger came forth and told us that your ass is lying. That's what he said. Now, I'm not saying we believe him, but that is what he said. Now that he came forth and told us your ass is lying, you do not think that the internet is not taking every piece of information they got on you and your ancestors to make sure that we all know who we are dealing with here. Now, Alicia, you opened a whole can of worms, a sweet can of worms. You opened, girl, with this footage. Now, I'm sure you didn't know it would backfire this way, but the people, they started digging, and I was here for it. It took them not longer than 14 seconds to come up with a piece of evidence, sweet footage of you that made me go even a level lower into that realm. Guys, you see this? My God. Now, let's talk about Alicia Brown for a second. Because let me tell you, child, when you search the internet tells two different stories about this woman. Now, on one side, the internet says that this is a very, very intelligent, very accomplished, successful black woman in the cyberspace, in the tech business. Now, on the other hand, people see controversy, old court records, relationship drama, child neglect, questions, guys, a lot of questions. So who is this woman exactly? Now, Alicia Brown, often branded as Cyber Babe, she indeed built herself a reputation in cybersecurity and in government contracting, AI, and, other technology spaces. Now, this woman has a long resume. And when you look at her public bios, it says she worked with agencies such as the Federal Health Administration, the Department of Defense, Centers for Medicare and Medical Services, the General Services Administration, and let's not forget the National Institute of Standards and Technology. And then later, she launched TMG Consulting. She launched her own brand, which is called Cyber Babe. So that's how you can find her on Instagram too. And she has multiple mentoring initiatives, to help women, especially black women, in the cyberspace, in the tech world. Now, she became a public speaker, an author, an advocate, especially for women. And she even speaks Russian fluently. So when you look at all of this, and when you read all of this, it almost makes it seem that this awful case of child neglect that happened in Maryland on, New Year's Eve, from 2013 going into 2014, where she left her 4-year-old daughter in a freezing cold car for 8 hours without checking on her even once. It seems like that didn't even happen. Now, long story short, guys, that whole case resulted in a guilty plea that she made in, I think it was May 2014. And she actually pled guilty to reckless child endangerment. And this is what the Baltimore Sun had to write about this whole thing. In the most serious case, Alicia Brown of Baltimore County pleaded guilty in May to endangerment of her 5-year-old daughter, whom she had left in her car. So that time her daughter was 4, but now 5. Whom she left in her car at the Maryland Live parking garage for about 8 hours on New Year's Eve. Anne Arundel County Police decided to charge Brown because of the length of time the girl was in the car, said spokesman T.I. Smith. She was charged with 4 misdemeanor counts: reckless endangerment, neglect of a minor, confining a child, and false imprisonment. Because remember, guys, she put those blankets, she put them in front of the window and everything. Oh, God, it was a mess. You heard it. Brown was sentenced in Anne Arundel County District Court to 5 days in jail and 3 years probation and was ordered to stay out of casinos. She told Judge Paul A. Heckner that she had learned from the experience and wanted to do better. I do sincerely love and adore my children. Her lawyer, David Putzi, told the court that Brown, a working single mother of 2, so she had 2 children by then, was sinking into debt, owning back rent and facing a Baltimore gas and electric shut-off notice. Anne Arundel County prosecutor Sandra Howell recommended that Brown be required to go through counseling because she told the court that Brown, who was playing blackjack at least part of her time at Maryland Live, put her own selfish desire to gamble ahead of her daughter's needs. And that's exactly what it is. Because I don't care how much debt you have. I don't care if you don't have a mom to put your child or whatever. Listen, if this is what it takes, you don't want your children to be taken away from you, whatever. You just stuff them in the car. I don't care if there were 600 iPads. You build a whole daycare in that car. I do not care. 600 things and toys. No food. No way to get out. Your mom is not there. And she is sitting there in that damn casino. You know what I don't get? You didn't have money. You were about to be shut off from the electricity company. You were back on your rent. Where did you get this money from to gamble? So this last little piece of $100 that you had, instead of putting something on the bills, you went in that casino thinking you could double it. No, girl. You have a gambling addiction, allegedly. And not only that, if you ask me, now I am not in the business of diagnosing people. But if you sit there, I don't care if you were 24. If you sit there in that casino 8 hours, you know what 8 hours is? When you go to work 8 hours, you get a break. A break for 1 hour, you eat a piece of sandwich. You drink something. You talk to your colleague. Because you have to have a rest somewhere. Not you. You were just in that blackjack, doing your things. Not even thinking about your child in that car. And the people said she was crying and everything. 4 years old. Alicia, you, Big Tigger, this one you selected. Now, at first, the people were like, how do we for sure know that this woman that we see, even though they look identical, but how do we for sure know that that is that same Alicia that is with Big Tigger? Because a lot of times, Alicia is here prancing around and telling us that she has 3 kids. So the people were like, it doesn't really check out. Because 3 kids, she has this baby with Tigger. Now she had 2 other kids, saw them on TikTok. Then, shouldn't she have 4? Yes, people. But she never talks about that daughter.
It's 2026 and I still have not made any content. Even though you said, I'll make content. Toddler and the infant that I have. Let's not mention the teenager who I don't even know what to say.
So the internet, since you are not saying anything, Alicia, they had to dig another layer into that hole to find out that what is going on with that daughter. Now, lo and behold, that daughter has been missing for 7 years, guys. 7 years. Have been missing ever since she was 10 years old.
County police are searching for a missing 10-year-old girl. Aeliyah Brown has been missing since May 25th. She was last seen at her home in the 300 block of Aaron Russell Court. Police say that a white SUV was seen in the area at the time. Anyone with any information about where she could be should contact police.
Yeah, I know it's a lot, guys, and I need you to track with me. Still, I know you're tired. Me too, but track with me. So when I heard this daughter was missing for 7 years, and this Alicia is prancing around these streets telling us that she has 3 children, this is the moment I went to the basement of that rabbit hole. And I was like, no, I really have to dig. Because, guys, we need the full. And we got it. Because Aeliyah, because I don't know if I called the daughter Alicia too. If I did, then I apologize. But her daughter's name is Aeliyah. So Aeliyah, her daddy, Durrell Williams, came forth. And he gave us a play-by-play of all the rubbish, the foolishness, the discombobulation that has been going on between him and that Alicia.
So a lot of people are now learning about Aeliyah Brown, who is the daughter of Durrell Williams, because of the current headlines involving her mom, Alicia Brown, who is married to Big Tigger. We all know Big Tigger here in the DMV. He currently does a morning show down in Atlanta on V103. But before that headline became a trending topic, there was already a long custody battle, a court record, and a missing child case that has been open since 2019. We're not trying to convict anyone on the radio. It's about hearing from Durrell, who is the father who has spent many years trying to find his daughter, and understanding what happened before she disappeared, and also getting clear on what the public needs to know. Obviously, Durrell's story also sheds light on the credibility of Alicia Brown, who has recently accused and made accusations and allegations of domestic violence as it pertains to Big Tigger.
He went on a radio show of Nina Brown and Joe. You know, they have that radio show. I think it was an afternoon show. And he went on there telling us he was fighting a custody battle, a custody case from hell, ever since this whole casino debacle.
Why weren't you giving Aeliyah immediately no questions asked?
Because the system is broken, flat out. And the reason why custody wasn't immediately transferred or changed was because in Maryland they will do their very best to keep mom and child, whether it be mom daughter or mom son. They do not want to separate the mother from the children. So you can leave a child in the car for 8 hours, and that's not good enough or not damaging enough in the state's eyes. They created a safety plan instead of removing my child from her care like they should have and transfer custody, or at least get the child out of the home for the time being and do the investigation. None of that happened. They never separated from her even getting in trouble or being arrested. When she came home, she saw her daughter.
That is unbelievable and so disheartening.
Now, this whole case, this battle, this custody battle out of hell, this lasted almost 2 years. I think about 1.5 years, but almost 2 years, guys.
Now you're co-parenting with her. What was that like just day to day when there wasn't, a bunch of legal drama or you trying to be taken to court or jail?
It was full of control. It was, when I say jump, you ask how high, or I'm going to send you to jail or not send you to jail, but I'm going to tell them to come and pick you if you piss me off. So how was it? It was completely tumultuous.
Telling us that this woman specifically sent all these devices so that she could sort of just take the time away from you that you're spending with your daughter?
Anytime that I ever had time, she made sure to be a part of it or to interfere with it. So if I took her to a trampoline place, she's calling her phone all day to find out what she's doing and where she is and who's in my car and things like that. So to the point where I can't even have a conversation because every time I turn around, my daughter's sitting there on the phone with her mother.
And has she ever been diagnosed with any type of, mental disorder? Because that's what I'm sure everybody listens like, what's going on with this woman?
As a part of the custody order, she was ordered to have a mental evaluation done by the court, but she never did it. Her interference got so bad that the court could not come up with another way for me to have uninterrupted time with my child besides going to a visitation center and be supervised while I interact with my child.
So
because
the day
protect me anymore.
I'm listening.
Because they couldn't protect you and what? I'm sorry?
They couldn't protect me. There's nothing that they could do to stop this woman's interference aside from, hey, go to the visitation center and you'll have uninterrupted time. That way mom can't be involved. But I get an hour a day and I'm sitting in front of people who are jotting down notes as I'm sitting here talking to my daughter. It was ultimately embarrassing. It was absolutely embarrassing, but I went anyway because I wanted to be with my child. And she still caused interruptions, interference. The visitation center had to call the police on her.
She got the police called on her at the visitation center while the dad is there having a supervised visit?
Yes.
Guys, can you imagine? Like, some men really really have to deal with all of this. He couldn't have time with his daughter. You see how she, as a psycho, guys. And now some people might say, yeah, but she was doing that maybe to protect her. Alicia, protect that daughter that she left in that car for 8 hours. Oh, please. Don't step to me with this. Now, maybe later we could talk about this, but I don't believe. She didn't protect that daughter, didn't even check on the daughter not one time. Now you think she wants to call that daughter 1,600 times in an hour because she cares so much about her. Whatever. I don't believe this. I believe this man had to deal with. I believe it. I'm leaning towards, guys. I'm leaning towards Durrell. Now, you already know you're a girl. I'm nosy. So I listened to this whole 8-part audio that I found. Because, see, for me, I wanted to know that where did Durrell meet this bag of nuts? Where did he meet her, this Alicia character? Now, Alicia, I told you this before. If it comes out that you are a very normal, sane person with a beautiful career, aside from that casino of hell situation that you put yourself in with your daughter, if you change your life and you are a stand-up citizen now, then I will retract this all. But for now, you are a bag of nut, a nutcase, a very intelligent nutcase. But to me now, a nutcase nonetheless, especially when I listen to Durrell.
I met Alicia in 2009. How our beginning started, we dated for a year. It didn't work out. And in that year, she sent me to jail, which was kind of my primary reason for not having this work out. And from the time that she was pregnant, had the baby, and we both tried to raise her, she did not really want me involved in Aeliyah's life. So it had always been a struggle to be consistently involved in Aeliyah's life without the court's help.
What did she send you to jail for that first time?
I've always went to jail, ironically, for the same charge, and it was for assault. We got in an argument. We sort of went out one night back in, 2013, I believe, 2009, 2010 maybe. We supposed to have went out, and we got in an argument, so I changed plans. I turned my car around, and I was going to take her back home, and she took the keys out the car, and we almost crashed. When I got the keys back in the car, she started hitting me with everything that was in vicinity of her reach in my car. I used to have I used to have a bunch of stuff in my car, so she was just hurling objects. By the time we got to a park and the police arrive and everything, they arrest her because they look at my face, they look at all the marks on me, and they arrest her that night. But because she was pregnant, she said she was miscarrying, and they took her to the hospital, and then they released her. A day later, I got arrested. I had a warrant for my name saying that I brutally assaulted this woman, and it was completely false. So that pretty much ended our relationship from the jump.
Now, I know, guys, we are currently only hearing one side of the story. I know this. But even though it's one side, guys, this does not sound good at all. Something in the milk ain't clean, guys. Him telling us that, she was arrested at first and she was lying. It sounds a little bit insane-ish to me. Hitting that man with everything, scratching that man up. Hey, guys. Now, Tigger, you, at your big age, you found yourself a complex project, Tigger. Were you bored? Because I can't seem to understand, what happened to the vetting process? You didn't type in her name. Guys, what do you think? Now, there were also rumors floating around of Darryl also being accused of abuse and assault and everything.
Huh. Wow. Just going back to the molestation allegations, were any of those allegations ever proven in court?
Absolutely not. I would never and have never done anything like that to anyone's child, especially my own.
Right. And I know in the court memo that you shared with me, it described how when I guess your daughter was speaking to one of the court mandated officials, like your daughter was almost like coached and manipulated and saying things like, she would try to hurt herself or try to hurt people in the house, or she would be running away. It was like this, your daughter was being coached is what the court memo said. Can you speak on that?
She was being poisoned versus coached. That's all. She was being poisoned with lies and stories made about her dad to vilify me and have my daughter feel like I'm not a safe person or this is not a safe place.
However, guys, a Maryland judge revoked Alicia's whole attempt to mess with this custody battle, to spread all these, vicious lies about Durrell. The judge revoked it, and he granted Durrell Williams full legal and physical custody of his daughter. But then, guys, things took a turn for the worse. Because listen to this. So during this whole custody battle that took long and her spreading the lies and he assaulted my daughter and this and that, said the most heinous things. Allegations were so serious, so severe that she had to live in a foster home during that time. Now, once Durrell was granted that full custody, he was, trying to arrange things and trying to settle things for him to pick up his daughter. Because he also knew the foster parents, guys. He went there several times, met them. So after a few days, when he actually went to pick up the daughter, guys, let me tell you, she vanished.
So, Durrell, take us up to the day that your daughter went missing. What happened on that day, and how did you find out? Paint the picture for us.
So January 9th or sometime in mid-January, that's when the order went into place. By March, it all blew up. So I only had a month of custody, basically, before she enacted her plan. The judge gave me custody, primary, and we were to split physical so she could still have visitation. The primary orders, the legal custody was fully in my favor. And as far as her runaway, when she made her claim of me molesting her, the department took my child, and on a visit when it was time to go to bed that night at the foster house, a white SUV came to the house. My daughter, quote unquote, ran away, and that's how she vanished. And mom has a white SUV at that time.
She was last seen in her home on the 300 court, I think the 300 block Russell Court. She was seen there last. And at the same time that she was seen there was also a report made by someone completely random in that neighborhood telling the police, listen, there's a white SUV circling our blocks here, and we want to know what this is. Now, the strange thing about this all is that not even days later, at the most a week, the police came forth and they said that they had reason to believe that it was not a stranger that took Aeliyah. This was something that, somebody that she knew. Now, if you ask me, what difference does it make when the people report her as missing? What difference does it make that she knows the person? Or is she at her foster parents' house? No. So where's she at?
We don't have any evidence right now that showed that this was some type of stranger abduction, but we do have information there was a white SUV that was seen in the area just before she was reported missing. Right now, we are following up several leads. We're hoping that the public can come forward and give us some additional information. The most interesting thing about this situation is that this was the same young lady who was left inside of a car by her mother about 6 years ago while the mother was inside of a casino in Anne Arundel County. Investigating to see if there's a connection here. Right now we can't confirm. We don't know the whereabouts of Aeliyah, so we can't confirm what we have right now at this point. We want to find out, did she leave on her own, or did someone help her, or did someone provoke her to leave?
So being completely desperate and seeing Durrell suffer, from not being able to speak to his daughter, for not finding out where his daughter actually is. Brittany Morgan, his girlfriend, came forth telling us the following. Listen to this. It hurts my heart to write this, but I need everyone's help with me finding my boyfriend's 10-year-old daughter, Aeliyah. She has been missing for 6 days now and is believed to have been abducted by her mother. Alicia Brown, known notoriously as the Casino Mom, lost all rights to this child earlier in the year, and once sole full custody was granted to Durrell, she has continued to lie, abuse the legal system, and cause severe mental damage to Aeliyah. This was written May 31st, 2019. There is also a protective order against her stating that she is to have no communication with their daughter. She's also known to drive a white BMW X5 as well as a 2015 white Mercedes G-Wagon with a possible tag 7DDG 7135. Alicia is mentally ill, and unfortunately, the courts have done nothing to stop her. She has no limit to the insane stunts she will pull to get this child back. If you see Aeliyah with anyone, especially her mother, please, please, please call the police. Share this post as much as you can. And please pray for this family. Thank you all. Now, guys, when I see this, that is just heartbreaking to me. It's a lot. Now, after that Brittany Morgan, that girlfriend of Durrell, after she put out that message on Facebook, our cyber babe, Alicia, she came forth telling us that, listen, I don't know where she is. I think, she did it once or twice. I think she's with her foster parents. Alicia, you are one discombobulated fool of a girl. Let me tell you. Now, either you know where your daughter is at, or you are a complete different type of monster to me. And by that, I mean, if you really do not know where your daughter is, and you are prancing around with this Big Tigger on these internet streets, TikTok and Instagram and everything, not saying one word about your daughter missing for 7 years, you're not doing anything. Let Durrell tell it. And let us tell it too. Because you didn't say anything about your daughter. And not searching for her, not advocating for where are the posts on Instagram. So either you know where she is, or you don't give a damn. Now, I was trying to give you a little grace. She was 24 and she was in a lot of debt. But then I had to catch myself. There was already a monster brewing inside of you 8 hours there in that casino, not checking on your child. Then the child went missing. Then you called the child almost 1,600 times a day, coaching the child. Coaching the child to say to the people that her father was abusing her, everything. And then Tigger, you are with this discombobulation of a woman. Now, I don't care if half of the story is true. If only half is true, it's bad enough. Prancing around with your new child that is about 1 year old now, acting like she only has 3 children, when there's a whole missing case. Now, whether you guys are like, listen, we don't want Durrell to know where she is, and we know where we will find out soon. But you have to admit, Tigger, that is a very sticky situation. Now, I can imagine that you don't want to be involved in this, but this is your wife. This is not a good look. And then I heard the craziest thing yet. The craziest thing out of all of this. When Durrell told us that the daughter that you have there, that daughter that we see in the picture, telling us that daughter is called, her name is Alicia Brown as well. So you gave that daughter the same name. Let Durrell tell it.
You're not the only person. She's done something like this too.
No, and thank you for saying that, because I'm not going to say his name. I'll just call him JR. That's the child before Tigger's is a young girl, and ironically, her name is Aeliyah Brown as well, but she goes by Autumn.
Wait a minute. Durrell, stop.
2 children named Aeliyah Brown. Yes.
Why? Why do we have 2 children with the same name?
Well, one could only guess that because when you're searching for a missing child, you would hope that this baby comes up that's, alive and well, and no one's looking for her. So it throws off your search records, it throws off school records, it throws off identification purposes.
Now, Miss Alicia, please come to the front. Please come to the front and tell us why you gave both your children the same name. Don't let us find out that you gave these 2 daughters the same name because you want to replace one daughter for the other. You don't want us to find out. You don't want us to search. You didn't want Big Tigger to see. You gave that daughter the same name. If this all is true, I don't know how you are sitting now in your house. I don't think you're all that relaxed. I don't think you thought this would escalate this fast. You see when you do some bullshit, you see how it can backfire. Now, we don't know what this whole situation, we don't know what will come out. We do not know. I have to be honest, we do not know. But you see how this can backfire. One clip you put out. Now the whole can of worms is wide open, girl. We are on your neck. We are not even interested anymore. What happened to your face Who discombobulated your face? Now, we should be interested in it, but we're not. We want to know now, where is your daughter? Where is she? That's what we want to know now. You're steady sitting here telling us, I will come out with the court of law and you will soon know what's going on and this and cheating. And we don't want to know that anymore. Where's the child? And Tigger, I know that you are not a happy camper at this moment as well. You are having a whole marriage with Casino Mom. You that told us years and years, when I find the one, I'm only going to get married one time, because when I find this one, be sure that I have really feted this person, because my dad had multiple marriages. I don't want this. This is your words. This is what you said, Tigger.
I respect the institution and the concept of marriage. That's why I have not been married. My father was married 3 times. I don't want to do that. I just want to get married once. And I want to get married to the person I love, and we want us to stay together.
And you went out, took your finger and toe, and selected Casino Mom. Hey, guys, I can't make this up. Now, Tigger, Durrell Williams had a message for you, too.
So, Durrell, when you hear that Alicia is now dating or married to Tig and now pregnant, what was your intention of reaching out to Tig? And tell us what happened.
Awareness. I reached out to him really to ask, do you know about this? I don't really care about your baby or anything like that. I'm not here for that. I just want to know, are you aware of this? Because it's Big Tigger. You got a radio show, and if not, and that's your wife, well, don't you want to help your wife find her daughter? So that was my only angle. And I reached out to him. I put it as basic as I could in the message, and he just never responded to it. I want to share this now because I'm still in contact with law enforcement, and this goes to Alicia and Tigger. So Alicia, I want you to know I know who's involved now. And Tigger, I want you to get out in front of this because you're looking complicit in this. So if you don't want to be complicit, I urge you to tell the truth about this girl's whereabouts because I know who's involved now.
Oh, God, Tigger. You are in knee deep. You are in way deeper than you think. You better start digging, Tigger. You better start digging yourself out and be on the move now. Listen, she told us. Now she want to retract, but she told us she was going to divorce your ass. Now, I hope you beat her to it. But she's very... Guys, listen. I don't know it to be facts, allegedly, but Tigger, we can establish that she's not all the way together, leaving the child for 8 hours in the car. That is something I can say. This is my opinion. She's not.
Durrell, I've been asked the question, and to be honest, as a mom, I wonder the same thing. So you're in Baltimore. Alicia is in Atlanta. I know that on the National Missing and Exploited Children, it says that they believed or that your daughter may be with her mom. Why not you get on a plane and go, or hire a private investigator to try to get footage? Because Tig's not hard to find. V103 is not hard to find.
I've had 2 private investigators. One that worked pro bono for me for a couple of months, and then the other I paid until I couldn't pay anymore. So as you all know, that's a great idea, but that's the worst plan for me because the moment that this woman sees me, she's going to allege I did something and try to call the police. So that blows up my entire plan there. But PIs are not free, and I went broke, and I do mean broke, paying for my family lawyer to be involved consistently in my daughter's life. So I didn't have any more money to pay for her, and that's kind of a part of the plan that she wants. She bleeds your pockets first, and you can't win a war with no money, especially in family court. I do know that it is in the cybersecurity world, and she's a master at fabricating documents and lies. So I could only imagine once I get the full answers, just how deep this well runs.
You went out there, Tigger, selecting Casino Mom. I can't get over it. Now, this is another message that really broke my heart too. When Durrell had a final message for his daughter.
Aeliyah, I want you to know that if there's one thing that has never stopped, it's me loving you. I love you now, I loved you then, and I'm going to love you until the end of my own time. I have not gone anywhere. I'm going to always be your dad, and I am here for you. At any time you want to call me, send me a picture or anything, I promise it'll just be between you and me. And I miss you. I cannot wait to see you again. I need to see you again. And I can't get back some of those moments in your life that I missed. And whatever the reason, I'm still sorry that I wasn't there. But I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. So I want you to know, whenever you're ready, whenever you want to, please reach out to me or anybody in the family. We are here for you, and we miss you.
Now, guys, we came to the end of this. Now, tell me what you think. Now, you have to agree with me that something here is definitely not right, guys. Now, what do you think, guys? Do you think that Alicia, a.k.a. Cyber Bae, a.k.a. Crazy Bae, oh, no, a.k.a. Tech Mogul, do you think that she's the crazy one? Do you think that Durrell Williams, the dad of Aeliyah, that he is lying? Do you think that Big Tigger knows where this girl is? It even crossed my mind, is she even alive? But I don't want to think of this. I don't want to think. But put it all in the comments, guys. What do you think? Because why can't the authorities find her? And if they already found her, why can't they at least share with us that they know where she is and she is safe? Put it all in the comments, guys, because I need to know. Because once this investigation comes to a close, once we get more information, the full, and this Alicia, she will come to the front again. I don't know how Big Tigger, well, we will hear something. Once this all comes out, I need us to be fully focused, present, and up to date. So, we need to discuss these things now that we can, with the follow-up, we could just move on right where we left off. But my God, when I tell you the internet, hey, guys. Anyway, I will be on top of it. And fam, you already know your girl. What I know, y'all know. You already know. So if you love your girl, click a like. And I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you soon. Peace.